Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the lecture 31 of this course, Fundamentals of Building Construction. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about various tools, machinery and equipment used in construction. So let us look into the outline of today's presentation. Today, we are going to discuss about the overview of tools, machinery and equipment used in construction, tools for brickwork, tools for plastering, and construction equipments required in various earth moving equipment and material handling equipments. So starting with the overview of tools, machinery and equipments that are used in construction. In this lecture, we will explore the essential tools, machinery and equipments vital for the construction industry. The discussion will cover a range of tools used in brickwork and plastering to a wide range of equipment used in earthwork, compaction and concrete production. We will examine the functions and applications of each type of equipment and their importance in different construction phases. So starting with the tools for brickwork. In brickwork construction, the use of specialized tools is crucial for achieving precision, efficiency and high quality results. These tools are designed to handle specific tasks such as cutting, shaping, aligning and finishing bricks and mortar. From the fundamental brick hammer and trowel to the precision tools like the spirit level and mason's square, each tool plays a vital role in the bricklaying process. Now, let us discuss some important tools used in the brickwork process. Firstly, brick hammer. It features a chisel-like edge on one side and a hammer head on the other. Its primary use is for splitting and cutting bricks, tapping bricks into the place for proper alignment and seating. Second, plumb bob. Plumb bob is a very simple device or tool and it consists of a weight suspended from a string. It is used only for ensuring walls that whether the walls are perfectly vertical, crucial for structural integrity and aesthetic appeal. Trowels. Trowels are versatile tools with a flat and pointed blade. It is used for handling mortar, lifting and spreading mortar onto bricks, cutting bricks by scoring and breaking, shaping mortar for desired joint finish. Next, we use a spirit level. It consists of a sealed tube containing liquid and an air bubble, which indicates level when centered between marked lines. The primary use of a spirit level is to ensure whether the brickwork is level and horizontally true, used with a straight edge to check evenness and alignment. A mason's square. Two arms jointed at a right angle, one longer than the other. The primary use of a mason's square is checking right angles during brickwork, ensuring corners are exactly 90 degrees for structural soundness and visual uniformity. Next comes jointers. It is a tool for finishing mortar joints, and how it is used for shaping and smoothing mortar, creating neat and uniform appearance of joints, making different joint profiles such as concave, V-shaped or raked joints. A chisel. A chisel is a hand tool characterized by a long sharp blade and a handle, designed to carve or cut hard materials. Now coming to the primary uses of chisel. Chisels have been used for centuries in woodwork, masonry and metalwork and still remain essential for precise and detailed craftsmanship. Measuring tape and rulers. Measuring tapes, typically made of flexible metal or fiberglass, are retractable devices used to determine linear dimensions. Rulers, on the other hand, usually made of wood, metal, or plastic, provide a rigid measuring edge ideal for shorter and straight measurements. Both tools are crucial for ensuring dimensional accuracy and consistency in construction projects. Next, line and pins. Now, the pins are inserted into the mortar joints at either ends of the course, and a line, which is usually a string, is stretched between them. Now, the primary use for this is the line serves as a guide for laying bricks in a straight line and maintaining uniform height throughout the course. Now, we move on to the tools for plastering. Now, plastering is a crucial process in construction that involves applying plaster to walls, ceilings, and other surfaces to create a smooth or textured finish. The success of plastering depends heavily on the use of specialized tools. Essential tools for plastering include trowels for spreading and smoothing, floats for achieving a fine finish, and spirit levels for ensuring even surfaces. Gauging trowel. A gauging trowel is a compact, pointed, or bull-nosed tool designed for precision in construction tasks. It is utilized for measuring and mixing small quantities of materials and for applying mortar to detailed areas like moldings and corners, making it vital for meticulous finishing works. Second, float. It typically consists of a flat, rectangular base made of wood, plastic, or metal attached to a handle. Now, floats are of three main types, them being metal floats, wooden floats, and devil floats. Now, getting into the details of these different types of floats, starting with metal floats. Also known as laying trowels, metal floats are made from thin tempered steel. The typical blade size for a metal float is around 10 cm by 30 cm. Next, wooden floats. Also called skimming floats, wooden floats are used for applying the finishing coat of plaster. They typically range in sizes from 10 cm by 30 cm to 11 cm by 33 cm and have a thickness of 10 to 12 mm. Next, devil floats. A specialized type of wooden float that features nail projections of about 3 mm. So the float helps in creating an even and uniform surface, eliminating ridges and filling in voids, ensuring a high quality finish on walls and ceilings. Third would be the floating rule. The floating rule is a specialized tool used in plastering to ensure levelness and evenness between successive screeds. When plastering walls or ceilings, it checks and levels the surface to maintain a smooth, consistent finish, which is essential for achieving a professional look. Then, the miscellaneous tools. Construction projects require a variety of tools for precise measurements, alignment, and detailed tasks. Some of the essential miscellaneous tools include set square, used to measure and verify right angles or 90 degrees, ensuring precision in corners and joints. Then comes the straight edges, employed to draw straight lines and check the straightness of surfaces. Brushes, utilized for applying finishes, cleaning surfaces, or removing debris. Scratchers, Scratches create a rough texture on plaster or concrete surfaces to aid in the adhesion of subsequent layers. Now moving on to the construction equipment. To achieve high quality construction projects, the use of mechanical equipment has become crucial. For large, complex projects with tight schedules and critical performance standards, construction equipment is essential. It is utilized across various construction activities including earthwork, aggregate production, concrete production, and placement. Equipment and machinery typically account for approximately 20 to 30% of the total project cost. The common construction equipments include earth moving equipment. Earth moving may include site preparation, excavation, embankment construction, backfilling, dredging, preparing base course, sub-base and subgrade, compaction and road surfacing. For earth moving operations, material is placed in two categories, rock and soil, which is common earth. The equipments under this are broadly classified in three categories. The selection criteria for earth moving equipment are as follows. First being the material quantity and rate. The total amount of material to be moved and the rate at which it must be moved as specified in the contract are crucial in selecting the appropriate equipments. Material categorization. Identifying the type of material to be handled is essential as different materials require different equipment. Common earth and rock necessitate distinct equipments. Third, job conditions. Factors such as the availability of loading and dumping areas, site accessibility, and weather conditions at the site also play a significant role in equipment selection. Now, the basic steps involved in earthwork operations are loosening the material. Initially, the material to be moved is loosened to facilitate excavation. Using equipment like a tractor with a ripper can enhance this process, improving productivity. Second, excavation. Once the material is loosened, it is excavated from the site. Third, hauling. The excavated material is then transported to the designated dumping locations. And the fourth being dumping and finishing. The final step involves dumping the hauled material at the designated locations. Now, we are going to discuss some important earthwork equipments, starting with tractors. Tractors are primarily used for pulling and pushing other equipments or heavy loads. They can serve as mounts for various types of equipment including bulldozers, shovels, drag lines, hoes, etc. Tractors may be classified as crawler tractors. These consist of an endless chain made of steel links and are used for moving heavy units on rough surfaces with poor traction, such as loose or muddy soils. The average speed of crawler tractors is around 4.8 to 5.6 kilometers per hour, making them ideal for short hauls of 60 to 150 meters. A key advantage is their ability to climb steep grades of up to 25 to 29%. Second, being wheel tractors. These tractors travel at higher speeds compared to crawler type tractors and are generally used for light and speedy tasks. They are well suited for jobs requiring travel over longer distances compared to crawler tractors. Wheel type tractors are less expensive, require less maintenance and repair, and are easier to operate. After tractors, we come to scrapers. A scraper is a device which can scrape the ground and load it simultaneously. Transport it over the required distance, dump it at the destination, and then spread the dumped material over the required area and return to the site for the next cycle. They combine the functions of an excavator and a mover. Now, scrapers are not at all suitable to be operated on wet or muddy materials or hard rocks. They are used for leveling, loading, hauling over distance varying between 150 to 900 meters. Scrapers are generally pulled by a tractor and are self-operating in that they can load, haul and discharge the materials. The third equipment will be bulldozer. A bulldozer is a powerful heavy-duty machine with a large flat blade at the front used for pushing substantial quantities of earth materials. They are very efficient excavating tools for short haul applications up to 100 meters. Bulldozers typically have tracks for enhanced mobility on rough terrain, providing stability and traction. The size of a bulldozer is determined by the length and height of its blade. Its capacity varies based on the size of the blade, the type of earth being moved, and the nature of the slope, uphill, level, or downhill. To determine the economic viability of using a bulldozer for a specific project, it is important to calculate the cost per cubic meter and select the appropriate type and size based on this assessment. Now coming over to the classification of bulldozer. First, position of blades. So bulldozers, these are mounted with a blade that is perpendicular to the direction of movement. And then we have angle dozers which have the blades mounted and set at an angle with the direction of movement. Second, based on mounting. Now, wheel-mounted bulldozers are ideal for long travel distances and handling loose soils, offering a fast return speed. Crawler-mounted bulldozers, on the other hand, excel in short work distances and handling tight soils. They have a slower return speed. Now, there are certain technical terms which are related to the earth moving equipments and bulldozers which we generally use. First, being blade. The large metal plate at the front of the bulldozer used for pushing materials. Second, tracks. Continuous treads that provide stability and traction, allowing the bulldozer to move over rough terrain. Third, ripper. A claw-like device at the back of some bulldozers used for breaking up hard soil or rocks. The applications. The major areas where the bulldozers are usually applied or used are land clearing and grading, pushing and moving earth materials, road building and maintenance, construction and demolition projects, backfilling of trenches. Now moving on to the next equipment, power shovel. Power shovels are primarily used for digging above track level and load it into trucks or tractor pulled wagons. They can excavate all classes of earth except solid rocks without prior loosening. Power shovels may be mounted on crawler tracks or rubber tired wheels, the latter being known as truck mounted power shovels. The wheel mounted power shovels are used for high speed and firm ground, whereas the crawler mounted power shovels are used for low speed excavations at unstable soil. The size of a power shovel is determined by the size of its bucket or dipper, which varies from 0.375 cubic meters to 5 cubic meters. The basic parts of a power shovel include the track system, cabin, cables, rack, stick, boom, footpin, saddle block, and bucket. So certain technical terms related to power shovels are the boom. Boom is the long arm attached to the machine's body, and the dipper stick. The dipper stick is the arm that holds the bucket. Bucket, the scoop that collects and moves the material. Cabin is the compartment where the operator sits and controls the machine. Now coming to the applications of power shovels. They are usually used for excavating and loading earth, rock and other materials, mining operations, large-scale construction and demolition projects. Next, we come to dragline. The primary function of a dragline machine is to drag a bucket against the material to be excavated. A dragline offers distinct advantages over a power shovel due to its long, lightweight boom and a suspended bucket controlled by a series of ropes and chains. However, it typically produces less output compared to a shovel of the same capacity. Applications. It is the most suitable machine for digging softer materials and for excavating below its track level. Draglines with long booms are advantageous for depositing earth on the banks of dams, eliminating the need for hauling units. It is primarily used for excavating canals and depositing materials on embankments without the need for hauling units. And large-scale earth-moving projects usually employ the maximum utilization of such draglines. Next, we come to clamshells. The clamshell bucket is designed for vertical excavation. It can operate at, above and below ground level. The clamshell machine consists of a clamshell bucket suspended from a lattice boom crane. This type of excavator attachment features two hinged jaws that come together to grab materials, making it ideal for digging and moving bulk materials such as gravel, sand and soil. Certain technical terms related. Jaws, the two hinged sections that open and close to grasp the materials. Bucket, the container formed by the closed jaws is known as the bucket. Hoist, a mechanism to raise and lower the clamshell. Now, applications of the clamshell excavator. loading bulk materials into trucks or onto conveyor belts directly, excavating soft or loose materials, and dredging operations. Now coming to backhoe. A backhoe is a type of excavating equipment consisting of a digging bucket at the end and a loader at front. These both are typically mounted on a pneumatic wheel. It is the most suitable machine for digging below the machine level, such as trenches, footings, basements, etc. The section of the arm closest to the vehicle is known as the boom, and the section which carries the bucket is known as the dipper or dipper stick. The boom is attached to the vehicle through a pivot known as king post, which allows the arm to slew left and right, usually through a total of around 200 degrees. A power shovel is converted to hoe by installing a dipper stick and a dipper at the end of the shovel boom. Coming to the applications. The major applications of a backhoe are digging trenches, holes and foundations, material handling and loading, and small to medium scale construction projects. Excavators. Excavators are extensively used in many roles such as digging of trenches and foundations, demolition, general grading or landscaping, heavy lifting, for example, lifting and placing of large concrete pipes, river dredging, mining, and driving piles in conjunction with a pile driver. They come in a range of capacities and are usually classified on the basis of tonnage. For earthwork, the most commonly used excavators are hydraulic excavators, which work with great efficiency. Moving on to the material handling equipments, starting with the dumper. A dumper is usually an open four-wheeled vehicle with the load skip in front of the driver. The skip can tip to dump the load. It is where the name dumper actually comes from. They are used to carry loads and materials to the construction site. A towing eye is fitted for secondary uses such as site tractor to tow such things as an air compressor to run pneumatic drills. The main applications of dumpers are in transporting materials to construction sites, in manufacturing and production line. Dump trucks. Dump trucks, also called as tipper, are those trucks whose contents can be emptied by raising the front end of the platform pneumatically so that the load is discharged by gravity. They are available in various sizes and mainly used in activities such as to clear material wastes from the building construction sites, in road and port construction to supply materials to the construction sites, etc. The most commonly used dumper trucks are the standard dumper trucks and the articulated dumper trucks. Second, cranes. Of all the heavy machines, cranes acquire an important position as they are involved in the building and maintenance of huge projects. These are the huge tower-like machineries having ropes meant to lift or to lower any heavy devices. Cranes are not permanent structures and either fixed in the ground or mounted on certain vehicles. Cranes are operated either through cab operators or through infrared or radio signals. Cranes are used for the loading and unloading of goods in the transport industry, for the movement of debris, sand, mud, and other materials in the construction industry and for the assembling of heavy equipment in the manufacturing industry. Based on the size and the loading capacities, cranes can be grouped as follows: tower cranes, crawler cranes, overhead cranes, vehicle cranes, and floating cranes. Dear learners, that concludes today's session. I hope you have learned a lot. Thank you.